Ladies and gentlemen, it's Travis here, and welcome back to the SF Bay Area SportsTalk channel. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. And what a game for your San Francisco Giants as they get their first victory of the season, defeating the New York Yankees 7-5. This was a crazy game. It went back and forth. It got very intense at the end of the game, and doesn't Giants baseball torture at its best. What a game. This was fun. This is how you show resilience and how you bounce back in a big way and get a big win on the road. Hold on, guys. Got to let my cat in for a second. Sorry about that, you guys. We are back. Giants with the win. What's going on, everyone? AM Echo Sky in the house. Good to see you. Giants get the win. This was a great game. I mean, we needed to get this win. And to see the bats wake up, which we talked about after game one. You know, very uncharacteristic of this Giants offense to get shut out. I mean, we know last year they had their struggles getting shut out, and obviously you're going against one of the best pitchers in the game in game one, but you needed to make adjustments. You didn't want to lose back-to-back games to start the season, and you know, give the Yankees credit. I mean, they fought back in this game. At the very end of the game, you know, it was very intense. This game, I was at work listening on the radio, and I mean, I could just feel. I mean, it was awesome to have a game like this. I mean, a close game, and against a big team like the Yankees, a team we'll see. I mean, they look like that they are going to be making a run back to the playoffs. So this was a great test for the Giants on the road to get a big win here. How's everyone feeling? What's going on? Hypes. Apologize if I pronounce that wrong. Good to see you. They need to call Schmidt up. Why is still out there? Thank you for the comments. Well, let's get to Casey Schmidt. I am just so excited what he is doing in the minor leagues. I mean, he is tearing it up down there, hitting pretty well, and defensively he is looking really great out there. I think a game the other day, he made 3 defensive stops in a single inning. This is a Gold Glove caliber third baseman. Giants getting him in the second round of the 2020 draft. So I think you will definitely see Casey Schmidt get called up at some point this season, maybe even sooner than we think, as he continues to impress down there. What's going on, Robert Rothberg? Great to see you. Great to see everyone checking in. I'm so happy that Giants baseball is back, and then we're back here breaking it down on the channel. Appreciate everyone checking in. These are some of my greatest memories and greatest moments of the season, is getting the opportunity to interact with you guys, the Giants fans, and to hear your thoughts. And you know, we share the same passion, and we love Giants baseball and are so excited. Another season is here, and you know, when I'm looking at this Giants team, I think that they will surprise some people this year. I think the Giants can contend for a wild card spot. So I'm thinking that this Giants team can win between 90 to 92 games. I think that will get them into the playoffs as a wild card, and we'll see if they can contend in the division. I think, you know, my preseason prediction, I think the Padres are going to win the division, but definitely does not, of course, doesn't. I have incredible faith in this Giants team, that they're going to compete out there, and we'll see what happens. You know, you look at the 2021 season, you know, everyone picking the Dodgers, and they had an incredible season, and the NL West division race going all the way down to the wire in 2021. That was so exciting, back and forth. So I think we'll see this Giants team surprise a lot of people this year. Nobody is expecting them to do anything. But I think if this Giants team can stay healthy, the veterans play to the back of their baseball cards, Crawford does what he does today. And shout out Brandon Crawford. What a game. What a game. I mean, for Crawford, who grew up a San Francisco Giants fan, to go to New York, where the Giants were originally from, and to have a game like this against the Yankees on a national broadcast. This was quite a spectacular game for Brandon Crawford, and really excited to see what he can do this year. I know that he is getting up there a little bit in age, and the question with Crawford is his bat going to be able to hold up? And that's the question mark that we are all wondering for this season. And so far, if he continues to do what he did today, it's going to be awesome. So I think this is a great sign to see Crawford putting together a great game. Hello, Travis. Hope all is well. Brandon Crawford will be an impact player. He proved it today. Absolutely, he proved it. And when the Giants absolutely needed to get a win here, would we say absolutely? It's early in the season, but you didn't want to start 0-2 on the season. So really pumped to get this win today, and it was not easy. This was very characteristic of Giants baseball torture. When we look at the ninth inning, Camilo Duvall did not have his best stuff out there, but he battled, and I give him a lot of credit because, I don't know if it was the pitch clock that had something to do with how Camilo Duvall was pitching today, or his warm-up pitches, but he did lose some balls that went against him in the count from taking time before the inning had started. And then when you're looking at how he was pitching, it almost looked like, his velocity was still not up there yet. So you're kind of wondering, was Camilo Duvall essentially throwing warm-up pitches when he was getting knocked around a bit in the ninth inning? So hopefully that Camilo Duvall, I'm sure that the Giants talked to him after the game, and they'll kind of make him aware of, how he can take care of those situations coming into the game. Because in spring training, he did very well with the pitch clock. So, maybe the nerves a bit, or first big game like this, but Camilo Duvall battled out there. I give him a lot of credit. Picked up the save. He went an inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 run, did walk 2. So yes, did have the bases loaded, but he got the big double play ball, and shout out to Brandon Crawford. He was able to field that tricky hop there. I think it was like an in-between hop, and he had to essentially field that perfectly clean for the Giants to have an opportunity to turn the double play, and the Giants are able to do so and to get the first win of the season. This is big, great win, and let's build on this, and let's try to get a series victory tomorrow, a early game tomorrow. How's everyone doing? San Francisco Giants fans, great to see you. How's everyone doing? Giants have defeated the Yankees. Bullpen almost cost us a game, though. Very true. The bullpen was a bit shaky today. Taylor Rogers did give up a run in his inning. But Jacob Junis impressed. I liked what we saw from him. Jacob Junis, a guy that can start for you, pitch out of the bullpen, eat up some innings. And you saw today Junis going 2 1/3 innings, struck out 2. So I really like what we saw from Junis. So there were some bright spots in the bullpen, but those last couple innings, Rogers giving up the run, and then Duvall giving up the run, and all the traffic on the base pass. So yes, the bullpen almost gave away this game, and so yeah, that's why we are thankful that we are breathing a sigh of relief, and we got the win today. Big time win, and this Giants bullpen, I do think that they are going to be much improved this year, better than last year. You look at, we made a couple nice free agent additions, signing the twin brother of Tyler Rogers, left-hander Taylor Rogers. We signed right-hander Luke Jackson. Of course, you got Camille Duvall, the closer, and he was absolutely lights out last year. And I think he is going to build off of the success from last season. So I'm really excited to see what Camille Duvall can do this season. Travis, why isn't Bart in the starting lineup? Good question. And we'll get into Gary Sanchez signing. I did see that yesterday, and I do like the move. Sanchez is a guy that, he's got some pop in his bat. He's a veteran. And when you're not sure what you're going to be getting out of Joey Bart, you want to have kind of some some backups, or some guys that can give you quality at bats. And Perez, that was a nice signing, and we've seen him start the first 2 games here. So I think maybe. But to get back to Joey Bart, I did hear that he was scratched out of the lineup due to back tightness. So I don't know how accurate that report is, in the sense of, are the Giants choosing not to start Joey Bart, or is there actually, some type of uncomfortableness that is bothering him a bit? But it is a bit concerning that Joey Bart, I think what's concerning is that, he's at that point now where, this is where you would have hoped that he would already have started producing at the big league level. And, last year he really had his struggles, did much better, I think, the last couple months of the year. So, I'm not sure, Joey Bart, they said he had back tightness, and that's why he was out of the lineup. But it is, you would hate that if Joey Bart becomes a draft bust. Now, we're not going to say that yet. But again, he was drafted in 2008, second overall, not 2008. Excuse me. I'm talking, that was Buster Posey. He was drafted 2008. Joey Bart drafted the 2020 draft, second overall, believe it was. So it's been, a few years now, and this is where you want to have seen Joey Bart start producing at the big league level. So hopefully, if Joey Bart does go down to AAA, that he'll be able to take the time down there, make the adjustments, and hopefully he can turn it around. Because I do still have confidence in him. I think he has incredible opposite field power, and he can hit the ball with power. And so I think that for him, it is, finding ways to make contact more and to, not strike out as much. So we'll see what happens. But it is definitely a big storyline, a big topic of this season is what we're going to get out of Joey Bart. And can he finally start producing, which is what we really hope to see. And, I wish him the best to turn it around. Anticipating a big year from Anthony DeSclafani. I'm right there with you, Robert. I think Anthony DeSclafani is going to have a bounce back year. You know that he is determined to bounce back from last season. Having the injury, that was really tough on him, after coming off an excellent 2021 season. So I do expect Anthony DeSclafani to have a big bounce back year. Welcome in, everyone, to the San Francisco Giants post-game show. Glad you joined us. We are excited. Giants get the big win on the road in New York, 7-5. This was not an easy game. It was San Francisco Giants baseball torture at its best, and that is what we love. There's nothing better than a game coming down to the wire, being on the edge of your seat, and the anticipation of what is going to happen next. Giants find a way. The bullpen almost gave away the game, but the Giants find a way to get a win, and they needed this win. Opening day was embarrassing to get shut out like that. that was not fun at all. And you wanted to see the Giants bats make adjustments, and that's exactly what they did today. The bats coming alive for 7 runs in the game. And Brandon Crawford, what a game for Crawford. I'm anticipating a big year for Brandon Crawford. You look at what he did last season, wasn't the best of years for him. Hit 231, hit 9 home runs, and drove in 52 RBIs in 118 games, I think it was. So with Crawford, certainly I think you will see him hit for a higher average. I think the home runs and RBIs will go up. I think he can hit 15 home runs, knock in 70 RBIs on the season. And I think that for him hitting about 270 around there, I think that would be a solid season for Crawford. And you got the Gold Glove defense that Crawford brings. So Crawford's still playing at a high level, and I think that he will make adjustments this season to have a bounce back year. Excuse me. What's going on, everyone? Appreciate everyone checking in. We are excited. San Francisco Giants baseball is back. The Giants get their first win of the season. The bats have come alive. Once Haniger is in the lineup, he will be an offensive threat. Absolutely, and I'm glad you bring that up, Robert, because as the season's getting started, you're kind of forgetting the guys that started out injured starting out the season. So a guy like Mitch Haniger, when he is able to come back into the lineup, when he comes back healthy, he is going to be a huge boost to this lineup. He was battled through injuries last season, but you look at in 2021, I think he hit over 30 home runs, drove in 100 RBIs. So Mitch Haniger is going to be a huge boost to this lineup if he can stay healthy out there. So I'm very excited to see what Haniger can do. And when you look at this Giants offense, I think this is a very good offense. I mean, I think that you will see this offense produce. You got Lamont Wade Jr. at first base. You got Thairo Estrada at second base. I mean, what an incredible season Thairo Estrada had last year. He was arguably the Giants' MVP of the season. It was remarkable what he did, and just what a great player. And to think that the Giants got him in a trade from the Yankees a few years ago, that trade flew under the radar, and you're seeing the magnitude and the significance of that trade as Thairo Estrada has become a really great baseball player. And I think that he is only going to get better. The defense is amazing. And I'm loving the at-bats. He had a couple of hits in the first game. And Estrada getting it done. Today, he had an RBI single in the Giants rally in the 6th inning. Giants were knocking in those runs today. Great to see Giants getting the win. And as we continue breaking down the stats, so we look at that top of the 4th inning. Jock Peterson puts the Giants on the board. A solo home run. And what an at-bat. I mean, he battled through that at-bat. I think he saw over 10 plus pitches. Jock Peterson battling up there. Knocks it out of the ballpark. And then you got Crawford coming up later in the inning, knocking a 2-run home run on a 3-0 pitch. And that is how you do it. When you're in the batter's box, you got a 3-0 count. And if you make up in your mind that you're going to swing on 3-0, you're going to look for a pitch in a certain zone, certain area, and you are going to take your swing and put both cheeks into it and just let it go. And that's what Crawford did on that 3-0 pitch. He got exactly what he was looking for, and he did not miss it, crushing it out of the ballpark, thinking it deep into the bleachers. That was a fun one, putting the Giants up 3-2. That home run coming off Casey Schmidt of the Yankees. What's going on, Mikey? No worries. Appreciate you checking in. Really means a lot. Good to see you. What a great game. What a great game. San Francisco Giants, you love to see it bouncing back in a big way. This is how you bounce back after having an embarrassing loss in game one, getting shut out. You wanted to see the Giants bats come alive and make adjustments, and that's what they did today. Great game. Hold on, guys, got to put my charger in my laptop. A great game. Welcome in, everyone. What's going on, Christopher? Good to see you. How's it going? All love for Aaron Judge, Central Valley, California kid and Fresno State alumni, but I can see why he stayed in New York. That right field is so short. Crawford and Peterson had easy bombs out there today. Yeah, make a good point there about the ballpark dynamics of Yankee Stadium, that short porch in right field. And, I think I agree with you. I think when I look at Aaron Judge and ultimately why, I think I agree with you that, I think that played into his decision potentially. That Yankee Stadium being the hitter's ballpark, at least more so than Oracle Park, and there's a lot of things I think that went into that decision. Obviously he grew up a Giants fan, and you thought that it only made sense that he would come home and play for his childhood team. But something that you do think about is, having spent all of those years with the Yankees, did Aaron Judge feel that, because he had spent those years with the team, that it made sense to stay with the Yankees, if that, they wanted him back just as much. And, I think that when Aaron Judge basically essentially, Giants had their offer out there of $360 million, I think, for 9 years. And essentially Aaron Judge probably went to the Yankees and told them that either you guys match this offer or go above it, or whatever it was. So he gave the Yankees, a decision of if they could match the offer. So, he ends up going back to the Yankees, and, I can kind of see why, maybe he wanted to play his whole career in New York. Maybe that meant a lot to him. And as much as he would have loved to come play for his childhood team, maybe he didn't want to say goodbye to the relationships that he had built in New York, and felt that if the Yankees made their effort to bring him back, that he was going to go back. So yeah, it's I wish him the best. I would have loved to have seen him go to the Giants and play for his childhood team. So it's you wish him the best. He's a phenomenal ball player. Welcome in. Where would you bat Haniger in the lineup? Great question, Robert. That's a great one. That's a tough one for me to, with the power that Haniger has, I think he's a guy that's got to be in the middle of the order. So I think, whether it's third, fourth, or fifth. So, when I'm thinking about where Haniger is going to bat, I would probably have to say, I think cleanup maybe potentially could be a good spot. I mean, if he knocked in 100 RBIs a couple of years ago, if he can come close to that kind of form, and he can be healthy, I think that he's got to be batting cleanup, because I think this Giants offense, I think up and down, they can knock the baseball around, they can get on base. I think you'll see the Giants try to attempt more steals this year, so we do got some speedy guys. We've seen Bryce Johnson get called up, outfielder. So we'll see what's going to... Travis, is it true with all of our starters, we wouldn't need relievers to start a game? I agree. We got, I want to say, 8 guys that can start, if you include, Jacob Junis, who can start, and you go through the rotation, Alex Wood, Disclafani, Logan Webb, all of these guys, Alex Cobb. So we have, I think, 7 or 8 guys. Sam Long even has started some games. So that I would definitely say is a plus. But the only thing is, even though we do have a lot of depth as far as starters, a lot of these guys are either veterans or you're banking on them to have solid years. So really, the only the only guy that that you can pencil him in, and what kind of production that you're going to get from him, and that is Logan Webb. So that is probably the one area that I would say is concerning about the starting rotation. Alex Cobb, example, veteran. We've seen that he can be really good when he is on top of his game. And then you go on through Discofani, he's coming back from injury. Sean Manaea, he's coming off we'll see how he's going to do, and Ross Stripling. So, yeah, I think that these guys are going to pitch well, and I think the starting rotation will look pretty good, and we'll see what happens. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Who is pitching on Sunday? Ross Stripling taking the mound for your San Francisco Giants, taking on Yuri Burrito. Apologize if I pronounced the name. The pitching matchup for tomorrow, Giants going for the series victory. Going to be fun. Let's see, if Bonds played for the Yankees with that short right field distance, he would have hit 85 home runs. Without a doubt, I agree with you, Robert. That short right field porch, he would have hit so many home runs, and that would have been fun to see. Will be nice to see if Crawford will stay a Giant his whole career like Buster Posey. I would love to see that, and especially with Crawford having grown up a San Francisco Giants fan, I definitely believe that that is something that really would be special to him and mean a lot to him. And so, yeah, that's something you wonder, because when he gets to that age where he still wants to play, and let's say the Giants, decide that they don't, that they don't bring him back or something, would Crawford retire, or would he play for another team or something? But I am definitely hopeful, and I think Crawford will stay a Giant his whole career. I'd love to see that. Matt Cain was able to do it, and a couple of guys that, there's, several guys that you would have loved to have seen them play their whole career as a San Francisco Giant. Tim Lincecum, Madison Bumgarner, Pablo Sandoval. These are guys that, forever Giants. And the fact that they've been in other uniforms, it just, like right now, Bum in a D-backs uniform, it feels weird. And hopefully Giants will bring back Madison Bumgarner when his contract is up with the Diamondbacks. I'm willing to accept the challenge, but Brandon Wiepp will retire a San Francisco Giant. I was so worried Duvall was going to blow it with the pitch clock violations. It will take some time for me to get used to these rule changes. I agree with you, Christopher. These rule changes they feel kind of weird with the pitch clock, and what's also weird is the game today was still like a 3.5 hour game, and I thought that these pitch clocks and stuff were supposed to make the game shorter, not have these 3.5 hour games. And so that was interesting. But yeah, it will definitely take getting used to. Expanded the base pass 2 by 3 feet. Yeah, that's interesting. I think that's a good rule change because I think the concern there was guys getting injured, sliding into the bag. When the bag is so small like that, maybe it's easier to get a finger jammed, or, to have either, a guy have a collision, sort of say, or maybe catch a spike or something. But I do think that for that rule, I think it's good because it's for safety measures, I would say, and I think that's good. It was great to see Sergio Romo retire a Giant. That was amazing. I mean, that was so emotional for me and warming to my heart and to all of us San Francisco Giants fans, because Sergio Romo, he was such a great Giant, and he was such a happy player, and his energy and his enthusiasm for the game, it was amazing to see. And from when he got called up in 2008 and to take over the closer role in 2012. All of those big moments in postseason. You look at his postseason numbers. I think he was 5-1 with a 3.09 ERA in postseason. Sergio Romo, forever Giant. It was such an awesome moment, and I'm so glad the Giants gave him this opportunity and that he got to have this opportunity. And it's an opportunity that not many players get to experience this, where you're able to get a standing ovation and tip your cap to the Giants fans. And, that moment, it was so special. So I'm so happy for Sergio Romo that he got to experience that. Giants get the huge win. Did you see the double play that ended the game? It went for review. I haven't seen the highlight of it. I got to check it out. I was at work today listening to the game on the radio. So it was, very intense. But I was loving listening to the radio call on KBR 680. But yeah, what a... those replay reviews, it's like, man, you were wondering, I was kind of wondering, are the Yankees going to have another at-bat here, or is this going to be game over? And once they said game over, I was like, yes, Giants get the win. Sergio Romo, first Mexican-American to close out a World Series in 2012. That's awesome. That's amazing. Thank you, Christopher, sharing that. Weird rule indeed, and could turn a few games. It's so weird that the pitcher can only throw 2 times to first base, and then the runner advances to second, as I understand it now. Weird rule indeed, and could turn a few games. It's interesting, I get the idea of not having unlimited pitches to be thrown, back to, you kind of, that would slow the game down, but limiting it to only 2, I feel like it is going to kind of throw things off, because if he's already done through throwovers, then the guy on first, he's going to know that you're not going to throw over. And so if he knows that, and, then essentially I feel like the base stealer could get a bigger lead, at least as far as what I'm understanding about the rule. With 2, that the pitcher can only throw over twice. So yeah, I think that is something interesting to pay attention to. We'll see if that leads to more steals, if guys are going to take bigger leads off of second base. Great to hear John Miller on the radio. You have, the big kahuna, as they call him, John Miller, the Hall of Famer. He does such a great job, and, his knowledge and his history that he knows about every player, it's really phenomenal. He'll tell you where this guy went to high school, college, where he worked or something. It's like he knows the ins and outs of how these players got to where they got to, and it's just awesome hearing John Miller. Can you please give your prediction on how many games Giants will win? Absolutely. I do plan on putting out a season preview and win-loss record prediction video. So that should be putting it out here in a couple of days. Would love to share my win-loss prediction. I am predicting Giants to go 92-70 this year. I think that they will get in the playoffs as a wild card. I think that 92-70 I think it'll either be second or third in the division. But being with the Dodgers, Padres, those 2 teams probably will likely win 100 games. So I think even if Giants can get 92 wins, that would be very good. And I think they can. And I think that they can find a way to get into the playoffs as a wild card. So, when I'm taking a look at this Giants team, I think the bullpen has improved from last year. I think the offense, is going to be pretty solid. And the starting rotation, I think it remains to be seen. Because like we said, the starting rotation is going to depend on a lot of these veteran starters putting together good seasons, So you're kind of asking for a lot. But if these guys can stay healthy, compete out there, then I like our chances of the starting rotation looking pretty solid. Uh, Fan of the shift ending. I'm still not a fan of a man starting on second in extra innings. Right there with you, Christopher. I do like the rule that they got rid of the shift. The shift, it's like the fact that, sometimes they'd have three guys to the right side of second base. It's like, so as a left-handed batter, if you naturally pull the ball and, you very rarely go to left field and you have three defenders to the right side of the field, it's like, what are you going to do? So I think that taking out the shift, having, now a second baseman, maybe before with the shift, a second baseman, if he didn't have good range, you wouldn't notice it as much with shifts going on. But now a second baseman, you're really going to, it's going to be valuable to have good second baseman and to play good defense there. So I am a fan of getting rid of the shift, but I'm with you. I hate the rule with the runner starting on second in extra innings. I hope that at some point they realize they need to get rid of that rule, without a doubt. Giants will be the most dangerous team in the playoffs. I'm with you, Robert. We get in as a wild card, and it's not going to be like how a couple years ago we win 107 games. So, a lot of people were probably paying attention to us, but we get in as a wild card. We are underdogs. That is when we do our best. So I think this will be a very dangerous San Francisco Giants team. Nobody will want to face us in the playoffs. So I really like our chances. We're going to go out there this season, compete. We're building for the future. We got a lot of exciting young players coming up. So I'm excited to see what this young nucleus of San Francisco Giants can do. And what a win today. The whole NL West is massively improved this season. It will be so fun to watch. I'm with you, Mikey. I mean, with how good the Padres are, they got better. How good the Dodgers are, Diamondbacks and Rockies, they're probably going to be better than what they were because, they've been bad for a while, and you figure that they're hopefully, for their sake, that they're probably getting some draft picks and kind of starting to build a better team. This NL West is going to be so fun to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun, and here we are, another season of San Francisco Giants baseball. We are going to be getting to our picks of the game, and so would love to hear who you're taking as the pick of the game if you haven't already shared your pick of the game. And for my pick of the game, I'm taking Brandon Crawford. I'm going with Brandon Crawford. What a game. 3 hits. He had a 2-run home run in the 4th inning, giving the Giants the lead. Crawford, what a game. And I think you're going to see a big season from Brandon Crawford this year. I think he's going to have a better season than last year. He'll make some adjustments. So I do think you'll see him hit better with the bat. Last year hit 231 with 9 home runs and 55 RBIs, or 52 RBIs. So I think Crawford will have a much better season. I think you can see him hit between 15 to 20 home runs and drive in 70 RBIs. And I think he can hit 270. So I'm expecting a solid year for Brandon Crawford. What a game. Crawford is my pick, says Robert. Awesome pick, Brandon Crawford, getting it done. So great to see you, Travis. My pick is also Crawford. Love to see it, Mikey, and appreciate that. It means a lot. It's great to see you, and great to see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. Truly means a lot to me, to each and every one of you, taking valuable time out of your day to check out the post-game show, say hi, and share your thoughts. I truly appreciate that. I would not be here without each and every one of you. I'd just be a guy talking to the camera. So thank you so much, everyone, checking out today's San Francisco Giants post-game show. Hope you enjoyed the post game, and let's make some noise for the YouTube algorithm. Let's smash that like button. Let's show YouTube how San Francisco Giants fans do it, and let's pump up that algorithm. All San Francisco Giants content, let's hit the like button. We are making it happen. Thank you everyone so much. If you enjoy the San Francisco Giants post-game shows, definitely consider subscribing to the channel for more of these San Francisco Giants post-game shows. We're going to be here throughout the season, breaking it down. I apologize that I didn't go live immediately after the game. I was at work. So definitely have your notifications turned on so you can be notified when I'm going live for the next post-game show. We'll try to be going live immediately after games when I'm able to. Tomorrow's game, I won't be able to go live immediately after the game, but we will be going live later in the day. So definitely stay tuned for that tomorrow. Let's go, San Francisco Giants. Player of the game, AM Echo Sky, taking Brandon Crawford and Jock Peterson. Love it, Jock Peterson. What a game. Not a hit. A very nice home run to put the Giants on the board. And what a great re-signing to bring back Jock Peterson. Thought he had a great season last year. So it was huge to bring him back. It's great to see him back. Why are so many people critical of Jock playing in the outfield? His defense wasn't that bad. I'm with you, Robert. I think Peterson, his defense is pretty solid out there. So yeah, I do kind of find that interesting why a lot of people are critical of Peterson's defense. I do think he has great defense, and I think that this Giants outfield defense is going to be much improved this year with Conforto out there. You got Yaz in center field and Mitch Haniger. So this outfield defense is much improved this year. And Peterson, you'll see him at DH. Today, he was at DH. So with this outfield defense improved this year, I think defensively at first base, we are going to be better. Brandon Belt, we all know that he was battling those knee issues for a long time. So Belt didn't have as much range at first base. So I do think Lamont Wade Jr. Is going to show some great range, and he has played great defense at first. You got Estrada at second, the Gold Glover and Crawford at shortstop, David Villar at third base, and Wilmer Flores playing when he's out there. So yeah, I think this Giants defense is much improved, and that's an area they needed to improve on because they struggled very mightily in that department last season. Have a great night. Thank you, AM Echo Sky, and let's go, San Francisco Giants. Let's go, San Francisco Giants. Thank you, everyone, so much. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Take care, and let's go, San Francisco Giants. Have a great one, everyone.